beautiful day to make a video outside on Memorial Day, right? So I just spent the past hour watching videos on YouTube of the whole idea of this idolization of YouTubers and YouTube culture and how we define it, and I want to spill my thoughts on this and join the conversation. Why not, right? Why not think about these life lessons and truths and sort of get the largest context here of seeing people complexly, imagining people complexly. One of the first things I thought of was I watched a recent vlog from Shay Carl and like the 5-year ago button. I was jumping around on the buttons, and one of the things he said in one of his cars was, who am I without all that I've accomplished? And I've thought about this. All the things I've made, all the content that I've made, all the things I've accomplished, who am I without all of those things? And it's true that I've actually created myself through that process. But really, I would still be who I am, the core essence of myself, if I had accomplished nothing. And I'm just standing here. You get to see specific parts of people, and that can get dangerous because then you can start to idolize content over idolize seeing the person complexly. And that's kind of what I thought about as I watched all of these videos, is that idea that you have to be able to imagine others complexly and not just focus on their content. But that's so hard when all you're seeing is their content and you're not able to physically meet them in person and really get down to that conversation of who they are and able to see their flaws and their troubles and their problems instead of just seeing that edited part of themselves. And I'm more from the fan side right now because I don't have that many subscribers, and I constantly watch people on YouTube and I learn a lot of life lessons from them, and that's really great. I love that part, to be able to see a window into other people's lives, not totally to put them up on a pedestal, but to get a window into how other people are coping and experiencing with these things and learning from their experiences. In the past, I have done things in the public eye. I was on a kids' TV show I co-hosted for a while, and I was part of a youth leadership organization as well, and I can say that it can get pretty scary when people just focus on your accomplishments and see you in that light, instead of being able to see your entire person. And the whole idea of respect for people is what came across on these YouTube videos for me. You can see people best complexly when you are able to give them your presence. And presence is very important because when you're in that moment with that person, you can wholly talk to them and converse with them and see the entire context and see how complex they are. You're not able to do that over the internet because it can seem like a conversation that is so limited with the comments and with just talking from person to person. It's so complex, just the ability, but the majority of it can seem like a one-way conversation, can seem like it's not both ways, and that's just because of the volume of people that are actually conversing on the internet at one time. I can't imagine having 1.5 million people. I think Mika Kitty said one time, there's one thing to grow up in a family and outdoors, but it's another thing to grow in the eyesight of millions of people. There's so much pressure, so many thoughts, so hard to put into good words, and it always sounds so much better in my head than it sounds in video form because this is edited. This really is just a snapshot of my reflective philosophical brain. The other thing I think about too is the idea of creating things, of creating who you are, of creating your accomplishments. You're really doing a lot of these things for yourself. And the idea that somebody can look into that window and actually get inspired by it and see it is really a bonus to thinking out loud, to sharing, to connecting. You're really looking for people that find your content and that really value it. And that's amazing when somebody can actually find something and actually they're a human being too. A big part of seeing people complexly is understanding that when people find what you create and your value and they admire it and they cherish it, and it helps them smile and appreciate and feel grateful. That's a bonus. Because ultimately everything that we do is inherently, I like to think sometimes, for ourselves. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live. Selfishness is telling other people to live as one wishes to live. So really all these things we're doing are for ourselves, ultimately. And anyone that takes inspiration and gratitude from what we do is a bonus, is something that we can be even more grateful for. That's what big people want their work to do, to inspire others, to better themselves. Because it's not ultimately the work that causes that. It's the spark that lights the person and causes them to better themselves and want to give back and want to be selfless. I don't know. It's just fun to talk about these things. Recently, somebody in my Facebook page was reading Divergent, and there's that quote about people being layers and layers of secrets by Veronica Roth. And really, people are layers and layers of secrets. No one out in the world will truly know who I am as much as I do, no matter what I do. And that layer, you have to trust people, and you have to connect with people, and you have to find values and find interests. And that's really the goal of connecting and sharing. I just love thinking about these things. It's just so cool to just talk and discuss and share and collaborate, to understand each other, to see everything complexly. One of the greatest human needs that's satisfied through all of this is being seen and being heard. What do you want, honeybee? What do you want, honeybee? I think he likes my orange shirt. Okay. Okay. See, if you don't freak out, they go away. Being seen and being heard is one of the greatest human needs. It really is. Because we want to be valued. Because sometimes we feel that we have to be valued to be valuable, but we don't. What a treacherous thing is to believe a person is more than a person. Respect your audience, respect yourself, and I guess imagine people complexly that you respect. Idolizing somebody is much different than respecting them, I think. It's hard to respect somebody that you don't see completely, elevate them to something that they're not. And not seeing things as they are can be a dangerous thing, especially from a desk. A desk in your room at a computer is one of the most dangerous places to view the world, because you're really at the mercy of other people's ability to manipulate information that is coming to you. And you can't always rely on other people to show things complexly and clearly when they can edit it. And idolizing, loving things without considering questions and asking questions or thinking about the flaws behind it. You're not willing to look beyond what's in front of you, to consider the greater context. We have to be able to see in the moment with presence, but as well be able to, the bee still over there, be able to understand things complexly and be okay with the way things are. You know that saying, the grass is always greener on the other side, it's always better over there, it's never good here? That goes away from gratitude and gratefulness and choosing a specific attitude. The grass is greenest where you water it. So imagine people complexly that you best respect, and find people that you can use your presence with, that you can be present with, and imagine them complexly and respect them, because those are the people that give you their time and their presence, and that's insurmountably important in life. This crazy journey we call life. So that's my thought on YouTube culture. I watched a lot of responses. I'll post them below. Jump in on the conversation. I think it's really important to discuss these things and give light to them and light a spark in appreciation and understanding and making sure that we are clear on the dynamics of the universe and how this all works. It's just great to talk about it instead of avoiding it or internalizing it too much or obsessing over it. I guess it's a spectrum. So many spectrums involved. This is my best trying to not edit my life and to show you a present moment in which I just open my brain and be honest and just think about this. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join on the conversation. Keep creating an awesome self. Keep imagining others complexly. Be humble. Be happy. Be grateful. And don't forget to be awesome. I'll see you Friday. Be humble. Be happy. Be grateful.